this is number 5 Courtney. It's described as being a mauve brown shade. I believe this is labeled as a neutral clear shade. It is quite mute. It does look quite similar to the promotional pictures. You have this mute brown shade. It does seem to have a little bit of a purple undertone. The purple in this is quite subtle, so this does have a lot of pigmentation. A little does go a long way. Really easy to blend, really easy to blur. Really beautiful and flattering shade. For the formula, it is watery, and then once it settles on the lips, it's going to have a thick oil-like texture on the lips. Semi-thick, so it is quite moisturizing. Very beautiful glazed like gloss finish, sort of that crystallized gloss finish, if that makes sense, or like a juicy fruit type of gloss. This doesn't blur the wrinkles of the lips, but it doesn't accentuate it. It's supposed to have this clear and see-through like glass finish. This is more of a mute shade, but I do see a bit of that finish. I think what really helps is because of how glossy it is. So now for the full look, you have a more pigmented brown shade. The more they apply, the more subtle the purple is going to look because of how watery it is. You can kind of taste the excess part. Really pigmented. You just need a small swipe and it's able to give a very nice coverage. I really like the glossy finish of this. It's super glossy on different angles of the lips as well. It looks really nice on the cupid's bow as well as the bottom lip. For the full look, it does kind of fill in the wrinkles of your lips, so it's semi-blurring, but it's still going to give a very beautiful juicy pout. It does have a subtle sweet like scent. It's quite mild. From the hand touch as well, it seems to have a really good stain. So without further ado, let's go ahead with the transfer test. So you can see that it transferred just a little bit, and the lips is a very pigmented stain. These type of watery finishes tend to have a red stain. I'm just gonna go over with a wet wipe and see if it turns red. Okay, so you can see that it did turn a little bit red once it touches water. Here is a hand swatch comparison. At the bottom is Courtney, and then Beige and Chestnut Nude. Beige is a little bit similar to Courtney, a similar undertone. Chestnut Nude is probably the matte version. It does have less purple in it, a little bit more brown. So here's another comparison with Courtney at the bottom, dark coconut, and then softly brown. They do have a very similar muteness, but dark coconut and softly brown do have more of a maroon red or a rosy undertone. For Courtney, it has more of a purple undertone. Next up, this is number 7 Grafig. This was included as part of the promotion. It's a hibiscus floral shade, and this is a semi-mute cool tone shade. Mauve pink purple shade. Really nice glossy finish as well. So here's a hand swatch. At the bottom is shade number 7. And then I have custard mauve and mauve chaos. Very similar in muteness and shade. Just wiping it matte, it does have a red stain. So a similar formula is Peripera's Waterberry Tint. Once they settle, they have a very similar thick oil-like texture on the lips. For Peripera's, it does have slightly a little bit more oil in it. I think WAKEMAKE's is a little bit more watery. Also a very similar stain as well. Both stains do turn red when they interact with water. And WAKEMAKE's is probably a little bit more glossy. Really good pigmentation for both of these as well. In conclusion, number 5 Courtney was actually a little bit difficult to match. Overall, you're going to have more of this brown purple shade. I think it's really good to layer on top of other products if you kind of want to mute it a bit. Really good pigmentation as well. Really nice stain as well. Just watch out for excess product because it can seep into your mouth and you'll be able to taste it. That wraps up today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.